Welcome back to, I guess, a special presentation of the Hardcore Casual with your boy, Base the Kid. Now, this isn't a full official episode because that was supposed to come tomorrow. Obviously, one dropped yesterday, but I guess when there's quote-unquote breaking news, you have to discuss it in its own format, and on this occasion that's what we've got. So look, at this point in time, it's been officially confirmed that Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk has been postponed, although more than likely you might say it's been cancelled at this point, knowing Fury's track record, due to a cut that's apparently happened in sparring today in the Fury camp. A picture of the cut has now surfaced online, and ultimately the cut has taken place on the same eye that Otto Wallin destroyed back in, what year was it, 2019, just before the rematch with Fury and Deontay Wilder. Question, I suppose, is he's been having nothing but southpaw sparring. The one quote-unquote cut he's had in his career has taken place in a match against a southpaw, and now he's been cut again, supposedly by a southpaw in sparring. He must really not like southpaws at this point. Okay, so let's get some of the controversies and the conspiracy theories out of the way. Now, funny enough, Joe Habib from Ringside Reporter has obviously run with a tweet that I sent to him, because he asked me a question basically saying, do I think that Tyson Fury intentionally got himself cut or cut himself in the fight, or to get himself out of the fight? And I said, well, did he intentionally cut himself? I'm not sure, but let's not act as if blading has never been a thing before. And that's in all walks. You've had it, you've seen it in I guess football, like UK football, soccer for the US people. You've seen it there. Obviously they used to have there was a very big blading culture in, you know, professional wrestling and sports entertainment. There's been cornermen who have done that stuff in fights before for boxers. So while I wasn't saying that he's bladed himself, I'm just saying that it's not outside the realms of possibility that something like that could happen. Then I said, well, look, he's also notorious for not sparring with headgear. Like, you see him in a lot of videos, whether it's body sparring or whether he's in the ring with other people, and he will frequently not be wearing headgear. So, you know, I said, what I believe is, if nothing else, he's probably gone in there and done something reckless, which is ultimately causing a bigger likelihood for him to potentially get hurt. So whether he's intentionally you know, caused an action or made it, you know, that he's tried to do it deliberately, he's probably not taken the best care. That's what I would necessarily assume, especially being so close. You start tapering down. You're not really supposed to be doing hard sparring like 2 weeks out. It's normally, right now at most, it's tech sparring or just, you know, some light touches here or there. Normally hard sparring is completed like 3 weeks out, you know, a month out, if that. But cool. So then a video comes out, and now in this video there's several people. I won't mention any names in case they don't want their names mentioned, but there's some people speculating that in the video it looks as if it's Jai Opetaia, and it looks as if there's an elbow that lands on Tyson Fury. Now, from the angle it's at, it's very hard to see cleanly like what's going on, but there is visibly like it does look as if a punch has missed and an elbow has kind of gone in there. However, from the angle and the numerous times that I've watched it, this elbow, and obviously I can't see the total point of it, so I can only say this based off of, you know, just the angle I'm seeing the head at, and the way that the head snaps, as well. this elbow doesn't actually look like it's hit above the jawline. If you look at the way that the head snaps back, that looks like you've been hit here and your head snapped, because the way the head whips, if that was an elbow to the eye, to me, I feel like that's a whole different motion. Maybe I'm wrong, but if you have a look at it, if you just look at it and you look at it closely, it doesn't look like the elbow lands anywhere near an eye, nor is, if it's Tyson Fury in the video, nor is his head actually angled to a point where a point of an elbow can actually get up there from a smaller individual, because he's not like he's mad hunched over. So there's a lot of things that don't seem to play right about this video that's come out, this picture that's come out, and the timing of this. And at this point, look, it could totally be 100% genuine. There was someone who said yesterday that this fight weren't gonna happen. They don't believe it's gonna happen. And that someone at this point in time has proved to be right. Now, did they have insider info? I don't know, but you know, I was with someone yesterday, and you know, myself and some others was there, and they said that they don't think this fight is happening. Now, me and a couple of the other people that was there was all like, well, no, it has to happen now. We're so close to it. They've just put out the big trailer, spent all that money on the promo, like it's gonna happen. It's too, like, normally if it wasn't going to, things would have collapsed ages ago. But they was like, no, I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm telling you now, I still don't think this fight happens. Maybe they knew something that we didn't, or maybe their natural pessimism for these big events just sort of, you know, kicked in at the right time. Because you know, how many times have I said that fight ain't happening, and then it ends up happening. So on this occasion, it was them instead of me that ended up calling that prediction correctly. Now let's look at, already there's a bunch of people on Twitter X, myself included, that have already stuck the knife in. I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I heard it, the first thing I did was went on Twitter X and said, typical Tyson Fury, with the door closed emoji. And some people are mad at me like, oh, so if it was Usyk, would you feel the same way? Well, it's a bit of a stupid question, to be totally honest, because I can't look at Usyk the same way I look at Tyson Fury. And if they're like, oh, well, you'd have to keep the same energy for both people. Well, no, I don't. And the reason I don't is because one person has given me a history of questionable actions that make me doubt their genuineness when it comes to certain things, and the other person has given me a history of delivering almost every single thing I asked for. So in this particular instance, you have to look at things on a case-by-case basis. You don't give the boy who cried wolf the same grace period that you give Mary Poppins. Shit example, but that's where we're gonna go with it. Like Mary Poppins, if she tells you something, chances are you're gonna believe it because you've got a track record of delivering what she promises. The boy who cried wolf, well, he's lied to you so many times. Even when he's telling the truth, you don't readily believe him. Like, you might believe him eventually, but you don't believe him right then and there because, you know, he's scarred you a couple times. You feel a bit jaded. And that's the same thing with Tyson Fury. Like, at this point, he could have that footage could have all been legit. The cut could have all happened today as well. You know, he's gutted, everything's happened as it's happened, and it's just a very unfortunate thing. And he's devastated, and obviously Usyk's team's devastated because, you know, not just Undisputed, but the bag that comes with it, all of that stuff is in the pipeline. And I get that. That could totally be the case. But let's not rule out the case that this is shenanigans that has been planned for a little while, because from every report that I've heard from people inside and outside the industry, he's not been having it his own way in sparring. He's been getting beat up in sparring by several of his sparring partners. You know, obviously everyone had the rumors about Jairo Pataya from a few weeks back. Apparently he dropped him in sparring. Now you're seeing this sparring partners cut him. I've heard that he's getting beat up regularly by other sparring partners in the gym, and he looks like he's lost a step. This is all stuff that's coming from within that camp and some members of people outside that camp. I'm not going to say who's told me X, Y, and Z, but this is stuff that I've heard. So at this point in time, if I'm hearing all of that he's not looking great in sparring, he's getting beat up, he looks like he's lost a step, he's leggy, he hasn't got the same, pizzazz that he used to have, he's just not the same guy, he looks like he's gotten old overnight, and then all of a sudden, fight postponed due to a cut. What do you really want me to say? Let's not forget, is this not the same scenario that was given out to David Haye when he got cut by Filip Hrgović in the training camp for Tyson Fury? People like he wasn't really doing the business like he used to be doing. He didn't want to fight Tyson Fury. He was trying to do everything to get out of that fight, and he ended up getting cut. Did he orchestrate the cut? Did he put himself or put his head in a position whereby a shot could land to open him up? Some people, what do they call? There's I can't remember what it's called, but there's a technique, where if you, for instance, people who do MMA, they know a way of basically using their elbow to make you bleed. It's like a clean bleed, like they can do it to a point where you can, they can open up like a hairline cut on your forehead. But I can't remember what the term's called. If I do, I'll say it later. If not, I might put it in the descriptions so that you guys can see that. But I know there is I think it's something along the lines of they might say, sometimes they could say it doing it the hard way, but they can use their elbow and they can open up a cut. Well, maybe in this particular sparring session, that could have been one of the one of the mandates. Like, you know what, I'm not really enjoying all of this, like, get me out of here. Like, do you know how to do X, Y, and Z? Like, let's do it. And the camera footage is hella grainy. Look at the year we're in. We're in 2024, and that camera footage looked like it came from a phone that was created in 2012. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that is unanswered. There's a lot of stuff that we need a bit more clarity on at the end of the day. Now, here's what I'm going to say to caveat everything that I've just said there. If this is a legit injury, a legit freak accident, then I wish, and I say this sincerely, I wish Tyson Fury as speedy a recovery as possible to make sure that he's 100% fit and healthy to be able to get into the ring for the rescheduled undisputed fight with Alexander Usyk. And I have to say that because as much as he is the boy that cried wolf to me, I don't want to believe that he's that much of an unscrupulous individual. Yeah, so I legit wish that it's a horrible thing that's happened, and that he heals from that extremely quickly and is able to get back to doing what he will say he does best. That's my hope, genuinely. But I can't, in good conscience and good faith, just say that on this video without again alluding to all the other stuff that has taken place. And it's just a case of, I'm skeptical. If the fight ends up happening again in June or whenever, July, okay, cool. Also, you gotta feel a bit bad for Alexander Usyk at this point. Apparently his team is still looking to, they said that they're trying to get Filip Hrgović to draft in as a last minute opponent for the IBF title. Quite frankly, he should take it. Look, he just had a fight in December, so he shouldn't be too far removed from training camp. And worst case, I also put on Twitter X that there should be a, if anything, maybe move the card, or just move that fight from the card and put it on the AJ and Ngannou card instead. Maybe put that one there. Maybe put all the fights on that card. Just make that a big bumper card, very similar to the the fight card that you had on Day of Reckoning with the big 8 fights. You got 3 main fights on the undercard of Fury Usyk, so you move all 3 of them over there as well. There's three fights on that card. Maybe you just have to sacrifice the maybe the showcase people, the Moses Atalmas, the David Naikas, and those. Maybe you have to sacrifice them, or you just put that as like a prelims, and you just have that much earlier in the night. And yeah, they may not get the same shine they was going to get before, but they still get on the card and get paid. I don't know. If you can salvage the Hrgovic and Usyk fight to remain on that card, or maybe even drafting someone else for Usyk to fight, but I would assume it would have to be at IBF, because if he fights anyone else, then chances are he's going to end up losing that belt. So yeah, look, it sucks all around. I mean, it sucks for Tyson Fury if this is all legit. It sucks for Alexander Usyk, who's, this is the third time now, though technically I think this is the fourth time that this fight has now been postponed or changed or rearranged. It sucks for the undercard if the date doesn't go ahead. But yeah, I mean, and I guess also maybe it also sucks for Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou, because they obviously had a roadmap in place as well. Both them and Fury and Usyk fighting in and around the same time of the year, so that they can both fight at the right time, I guess, when the next Riyadh season starts in 2024, because I'm assuming that's when that next bout would take place. You get your little warm up or keep busy fight in between. Now, if that fight doesn't happen until June, they might not get to have that fight next year. They might have to wait till 2025. So yes, like I said, it's a bit of a shit show for everyone at this point. And I'm not gonna wholeheartedly just be out here, like I said, saying that Tyson Fury is X, Y, and Z, but at the end of the day, everyone knows my opinions on Tyson Fury. Like, I've never hidden them. But just because there's so much grey area in this one, I'm not gonna totally put this to his back. But I do feel as if there was ever going to be a reason this fight didn't take place, it was always going to be because of Tyson Fury. And unfortunately, yet again, proved right. So look, I don't really want to belabor and dwell on the point anymore. You guys leave your comments, let me know what you think about this situation. Would you like to see Usyk stay on the date and keep that undercard strong, or would you like to see everything move to the Fury, to the Joshua and Ngannou card, or maybe you cut some fights, pay a little bit of compensation and put those fights on a different card further down the line? Like, what would you do? Give me your opinions. I'll be happy to interact with you in the comment section. But for right now, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, share as always, and that is the Hardcore Casual out.